Hello and welcome to Straight Talk, Supply Chain Insights, the podcast for your supply chain leader who is on the go and wants to be in the know. And now, your host, Lora Cecere.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Supply Chain Insights. My name is Lora Cecere and I'm the founder of Supply Chain Insights, and this is my regular podcast. Sometimes I interview supply chain leaders and sometimes it's just me sitting in front of a microphone chatting with my listeners on what's going on. Today I want to talk to you about the blog post I actually wrote yesterday called Who's Gonna Win? This was a fun blog post because it was a summary of a month of meetings with venture capitalists. Let me set the scene. There are 5 supply chain planning technologies that are on the market available for venture capitalists to buy, and each of the venture capitalists are scrambling to make the best deal, understand the market, and then to try to assimilate the best assets. The discussions go like this. The venture capitalist calls, tries to suitably impress me with their credentials, and I play along. And then the next question is, what is the theoretical market for supply chain planning? So I give them my best number based upon my research, but then I say, that's not the real story we should be talking about. The real story we should be talking about is not today's market, but the potential of the market. The potential of the market lies in the ability to innovate, to use new technologies, and to be able to drive the solutions that people want instead of the solutions that are being sold that people are very frustrated with. They'll listen very politely, and then they'll say, but that's not our interest. Our interest is to look at the current market and to make an assessment if buying one of these technologies in the current market makes sense. So I swallow and I say, but the current market does not have the kind of approach that people want to buy. And the biggest obstacle to many companies' success is do nothing. The biggest competitors do nothing. So in the market, we have a unique position where SAP is the market leader, but is ceding market share with the discontinuing approach of SAP APO and some mounting concern around SAP IBP fundamentals. So as people rationalize the fact that they've got to make a decision with APO and they look at SAP with IBP and they look at the relative cost versus value, many are voting to go elsewhere. Perhaps it's to build it themselves, perhaps to take APO into a non-supported environment, or to purchase something else. So in this evolution where SAP is making these moves, it is a good market for other alternatives in the market, like Owen Partners or Coalescence or other supply chain planning vendors. So this movement creates an unusual event in this market. In addition, if we look at the coalescence of new technologies, whether it's Internet of Things, cognitive computing, open source analytics, we're starting to see the evolution of technologies that are scheme-on-read, which allow us to have flexibility in taxonomies, deep learning, machine learning, rules-based ontologies, and autonomous planning. Blue Cruise calls it the lights out planning. But, digital twins, simulation, lots of capabilities of modeling we never conceived before. In addition, if we look at the network of networks where we're looking at building B2B solutions, again, we have opportunities that we've never had before. Yet the venture capitalists want to have the discussion about the current market. It's almost like we've lined up legacy software to be sold like a used car show. And we have people that are trying to kick the tires to maximize the value out of piece parts versus saying, how can we take funds and new technologies and new inventions and drive a sea change in the market? That's the first question, is how big is the market? The second question is, who do I think is well positioned to win? What combinations of software do I think are winning portfolios? And who's best positioned to do that? So I take the vendors one by one. And the fact that Coalescence is the winner and solution of choice for material-centric supply chains, where you've got bill of materials and constraints in materials. The collaborative platform, the in-memory model, is unparalleled in terms of ease of use. It's expensive, though. And sometimes people culturally don't necessarily have alignment with Kinaxis. So other alternatives that are in the market are OM Partners, which has a deep set of algorithmic products, finite scheduling, but does not have transportation planning. Neither Kinaxis or OM Partners have transportation planning. But OM Partners is differentiated in its ability to model finite scheduling, particularly in process industries, whereas Kinaxis can't really model finite scheduling. It's more of a tactical tool. And on the other hand, we have LLamasoft, who's done extremely well in strategic planning, starting to come downstream to be able to do tactical and operations planning. It's actually released a very cool product called Demand Guru, which is a schema on read, deep math kind of demand planning tool, one of the most progressive I've seen LLamasoft produce. And they're starting to inch their way into a traditional market that used to be, JDA, Logility, SAP, APO territory. So we're starting to get some evolution of the solutions. But on the other hand, we're also starting to get the redefinition of the market. I like what Project 44 is doing and the redefinition of the transportation market. I like the fact that we have cloud-based solutions like Optimity, which are 30 to 40% the cost of the traditional solutions of JDA and Logility, and provide demand planning to finite scheduling. I like some of the work that GTNexus is doing credit for. So we've got a lot of piece parts, industry-specific solutions that people have to put together. But what if we didn't have to do that? What if we could have some industry consolidation that would allow perhaps a deeper solution, or if we had, leaders like Kinaxis or OM Partners build deeper functionality for the autonomous supply chain, or engulf transportation into their solution, or Kinaxis to include, network type solutions. We have the ability to think about these solutions differently if we could widen the approach. Isn't this fun? So who wins? I think the company that wins is the company that has the most compelling vision. Software is like selling cosmetics. When I go to a cosmetic counter, I don't want to buy foundation and mascara. I want to be beautiful. And software for supply chain planning is very similar. People are buying hope. They're buying hope that they can make better decisions, that they can make better trade-offs between inventory cost and customer service, and that will translate into greater job security. They're buying the hope that they're with companies that also are doing cool things, and they can learn from that community. So when software companies build their solutions and go to market, they must realize that they're selling hope. So I think the company that wins is the company that drives innovation in the heart of a business problem and has a compelling vision around hope, with a great visionary who can talk about what the supply chain could be. Not what the supply chain is today, and not what a limited reference case study is doing with the solution, but paints the picture that puts fire in the belly of the supply chain leader to take the big step and do the next thing. Because the market is opening with the announcement by SAP, and people are looking for new solutions. They're looking for digital twin for simulation. They're looking for artificial intelligence cognitive computing for the autonomous supply chain. They're looking to be able to unleash planning data for people that are non-planners. I think we're really close to transforming this troubled market. So the venture capitalists may not be interested in driving innovation, and we may have a lot of late adopters in the space that are watching, sort of like penguins on an iceberg, watching to see if they can jump. But at the heart, I think we have a lot of innovators, and we've got a lot of great technology that drives capabilities we've never been able to have before. And then who wins is an easy answer. We all do. Welcome to Straight Talk with Supply Chain Insights. This is Lora Cecere. Until next time.